Hey guys, so I came across an article by CrimeOnline, and the title of it is We're in the Dark, Missing Suzanne Morphew's Family Waits and Worries, 2 weeks after Colorado mom's mysterious disappearance. And I'm going to read this article and then I'm going to give you my thoughts and opinions on it. A relative of missing Colorado woman Suzanne Morphew says Suzanne's family members have very little information to go on, as investigators concluded a 3-day search of a residential property not far from Suzanne's Maysville home on Sunday without finding any evidence connected to the case. Investigators searched several locations on the property. However, they were unable to make any connection to Suzanne Morphew's case at this time. Details about the search are not available, as this is part of the active investigation, the Chaffee County Sheriff's Office said in a news release on Sunday, 2 weeks after Suzanne's neighbor reported her missing. The relative said that some of Suzanne's family members, including at least one of Suzanne's siblings and Barry Morphew's mother, who Suzanne is reportedly close to, traveled to the area after Suzanne was reported missing. Suzanne's own mother died of cancer years ago, and her father is believed to be living in Michigan. The relative did not know where Suzanne's 2 daughters were staying, as police have taken possession of the Morphew's home as part of the ongoing investigation. I think they are being protected, the source said. The relative said that they have never seen or heard about any specific issues in the Morphew's marriage, and that the couple seemed happy, but they did indicate that Barry could be somewhat controlling. He's been in charge of what happens for a long time, they said. As CrimeOnline previously reported, a source who was acquainted with the Morphew family when they lived in Indiana said they believed Suzanne was somewhat reluctant about the family's planned move to Colorado 2 years ago, but the relative who spoke to CrimeOnline this week said Suzanne seemed positive about the move, as she was looking forward to being closer to her college-aged daughter, who is in school in Colorado. I think it was sort of a step towards retirement, the family member said. Suzanne mentioned to a relative she was happy that another family member, Barry's nephew, Trevor Noel, lived in the state. Earlier in the investigation, Trevor Noel identified himself as the family spokesperson, but he has stopped responding to the media. A Facebook page he launched to collect and share information about the search for Suzanne has not been updated in over a week. He also launched a GoFundMe campaign to raise money for a volunteer search. The crowdfunding campaign has raised over $30,000, and Barry Morphew's mother was listed as the beneficiary in recent days. Suzanne's relative said they did not know Trevor and was not sure why Barry Morphew's mother was the recipient of the GoFundMe donations, though they did note that the fundraiser may be supplementing travel and housing costs for relatives who travel to central Colorado. I have a feeling someone told him not to talk, the relative said, about Trevor Noel's recent silence. During the first week of the investigation, Trevor told local media outlets that police had recovered Suzanne's bicycle, and Suzanne's relative believes police did not want that information leaked. The source said that Suzanne's family has received very little specific information about the investigation of the relatives who are in central Colorado. If they are told not to say anything, they don't, the relative said. We are as much in the dark as anyone else because they don't want information getting out there that might hurt the case. It's hard to wait and watch and wonder what's happening, they said, adding that the situation was surreal for Suzanne's family members. The relative said that they have doubts about whether Suzanne actually went for a bike ride on May 10th, as her neighbor reportedly told police. The source said they believe Suzanne's daughters asked the neighbor to check and see if their mother's bike was at the home. The relative said they found it credible that Barry Morphew may have been working on a landscaping job the day Suzanne was reported missing, noting that Barry is known to be ambitious in his work and eager to take on projects. Barry always seemed to be a good guy and a supportive husband, the relative said. I'd be surprised if anything happened, but sometimes we don't know people as well as we think we do. Okay, so that's the end of the article. Of course, the sheriff is still encouraging the community to call in tips. No matter how small it is, call it in if you see something, say something. It could help find Suzanne. But anyways, I'm going to give you my opinion on it. So it seems like Suzanne and Barry had a good relationship, or at least people thought they did. You never know what goes on behind closed doors. Of course, I'm hoping and praying he didn't have anything to do with her disappearance, because it's going to make it even harder on their daughters, and it's going to be hard enough if it turns out that Suzanne is passed away. So I hope that he's not involved, but it is very alarming to hear that he is controlling. Because a lot of times when people are controlling, when they feel like they're losing control of a relationship, they will snap. I'm hoping and praying that's not the case and they find Suzanne.